Hare Krishna. Today is the 54th anniversary of the incorporation of ISKCON, at least in America. And since it happened in America, then I'm saying it's today, although here in Hungary, it was meant to be yesterday, July 15th, 1966. And I have in my lap my computer. I have my computer in my lap a lot. But I'm looking at the 7 articles of incorporation. When Srila Prabhupada formalized the form and structure of what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Krishna consciousness movement was into a legal entity. And he chose these 7 things, which is about somehow or another, through Krishna consciousness, achieving unity and peace in the world, to make available the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Varna Ashram as a social structure, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is something that's available to everyone, to establish holy places of pilgrimage, to enable a natural way of life, farming communities, and to achieve all of these, to publish all kinds of literature, magazines, books, he says periodicals, and so on. 1966, was my first year in university. At this time I was working in the summer, but in the fall I will have joined McGill Universities and began my first year as an engineer. I didn't really envisage at that time that I was going to be practicing spiritual life as part of a religious organization. Although a few years later I came in contact with Krishna consciousness, but at that time Krishna consciousness didn't really resonate with so much the religious institution as with devotees and Srila Prabhupada and chanting, a few books that were there. And religious institutions, like other institutions, are effective in certain ways and ineffective in others. They're ineffective because they're impersonal, and therefore there's a lot of opportunity for favoritism, corruption, abuse, members abusing each other, leaders abusing members, members abusing leaders and expecting everything in the world from them, and add Kali Yuga to the mix, and you have what you have today. And religious institution even more so. But without it, how is Krishna consciousness meant to systematically spread and fulfill the vision that Srila Prabhupada envisaged here? And in the 11 years following this time, Srila Prabhupada continued to emphasize the importance of us working together in ISKCON, correcting the wrongs and the faults of the Krishna consciousness movement from within, but not leaving. These were Srila Prabhupada's repeated requests to his followers. He wanted the Krishna consciousness movement to really fulfill the prediction and the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now here we are, 54 years later, and devotees are all over the world in all different walks of life. But I would say that over 99% of the devotees do have one thing in common. They don't have many things in common, but they got one thing in common. And that one thing that they have in common is that they love Srila Prabhupada and they want to please him. And this is what pleased him. So I'm still here. Personally, I can say I've gone through a lot, as others also have. But one thing for sure is that I would not be practicing Krishna consciousness this many years later if it wasn't for ISKCON. And neither would I feel that in this life I've been able to do something substantial. I've been able to benefit people and give them the opportunity to enter into these 7 items of incorporation that Srila Prabhupada gave us. So I would say that it's worthwhile. And at this point, my request would be is that we all embrace Srila Prabhupada's desire, and as tough love as loving ISKCON is, we should remain married to it and do our best to fulfill the mission of Srila Prabhupada and fulfill his desire. Hare Krishna.